I'm Mark.
And I'm Josh.
Wake up.
I was looking at the book when you called it.
This is Alter Ego Comics TV for the week of November 30th, 2011. Kind of a light week this week because it's a fifth week, and DC doesn't ship any of their new 52 books in the fifth week because they're on a 4-week schedule. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't come in and check out the other cool stuff that came out. And DC did ship a couple of things. So we will start with Angel and Faith, number 4, Christos Gage, Rebecca Isaacs. This book has just been awesome out of the gate. Really like the feel of it. Really like the characterizations of Angel and Faith. And I love the artwork. I think Rebecca Isaacs has really nailed capturing the essences, the visual essences of Angel and Faith, which is tough to do. Artists struggle sometimes with drawing real people versus made-up characters like superheroes. But Angel and Faith has been really, really strong. Dark Horse is doing a bang-up job with Buffy Season 9 and Angel and Faith, which has also got the Season 9 label on it. So, 2 good books to be reading if you're a Buffy fan.
Last week we had the Kapow World Record Special Spectacular.
Spectacular.
Yes, of Superior. This is a out-of-continuity Superior story, and the idea was they wanted to set 2 world records at the same time for most comic creators working on a title and fastest comic production. They did both, and it's actually kind of a fun little Superior side, so if you've been reading the regular book, or if you just want to see a bunch of the different artists and writers working today, it's a good checkout for $3.
It's also only limited to, I believe, 10,000 copies, so most stores were allocated, including us. We got half of what we ordered, so we're down to less than 5 copies. If this is something that you're interested in, I would hurry in to pick it up, or it will be gone forever. It's already commanding higher secondary prices on eBay and things like that. Uncanny X-Men number 2, Regenesis continues, written by Kieran Gillen, artwork by Carlos Pacheco, and I liked this issue more than the first issue. While I liked the first issue, this one was an improvement. There's, I think, a lot more story to it. You're getting some kind of backstory and view into the mind of Sinister, and it's just it's a cool X-Men book. It has a feel to me of kind of the Claremont Silvestri days of Uncanny X-Men, which is a great thing. So all of the X books have just been top-notch, not just since Regenesis started, but over the last year and a half, and there's so much to choose from, and they're all good. You really can't go wrong. It's still time to get in on the ground floor of Uncanny because we still have copies of issue number 1.
Right, and we have X-Men Legacy continuing the Regenesis banner. This is 259. And every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end. In this case, the new beginning in Regenesis is the end of Mike Carey's run, which has been going since 2006, when the book was just called X-Men, not X-Men Legacy yet. And to wrap up the run, Carey's got a twofer. This is the first issue of the 2-parter, and it focuses primarily on Rogue and her decision which way to go, to follow Scott or to follow Logan. And you see her interacting with other characters she's established relationships with in the series, you know, kind of Gambit and Magneto pulling her one way or the other, or recommending one path or the other, and you see her kind of working through it. And Carey really loves Rogue, and you can tell he really likes writing her. And there's also a return of a classic X-Men character in here. Well, maybe not classic, of an X-Men character in here. So if you've been reading any of Carey's X-Men the last couple of years, this is a great swan song.
Star Trek The Ongoing Series number 3. This is published by IDW and features the J.J. Abrams crew experiencing the original series missions. So the first 2 issues were the second pilot of the show, Where No Man Has Gone Before. This is issue 3, and we're seeing the first part of the Galileo 7. And maybe I shouldn't be the one talking about this because I'm such a huge Star Trek fan, but Josh said he enjoyed this as well. It really has become its own thing. You know, even though I knew what was going to happen because I've seen the original series episode a bazillion times, I still enjoyed it. They've changed enough stuff to make it interesting. And one of the things that dawned on me as I was reading this is that so many more people saw the J.J. Abrams version of Star Trek than saw the previous 10 versions at the theater, the previous 10 movies at the theater. And probably, you know, there's a new generation of fan that is not familiar with these original series episodes, and this is a great way to experience those because they were really solid. I mean, yes, the stuff that was done in the 60s, some of the special effects were a little hokey. You know, there are Shatnerisms, there are things that can distract someone in 2011 from watching a classic Star Trek episode. and you don't really have those distractions with this comic because it's fresh, it's new, and it involves the again, the newest version of the characters experiencing them. So I'm loving this series, and it's selling really, really well. So kudos to all of you who are buying it.
Also new, we have the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Ultimate Collection Volume 1. This is a massive hardcover tome collecting the original Turtles stuff by Eastman and the other guy, who's neither of which are credited
Laird,
on the book.
Laird.
This is the first 7 issues plus the Raphael series. There's annotations and bonus material. So if you're a fan of the classic Turtles comic, or you just like big, nice, cool hardcovers, this is for you.
Would make a great gift for yourself or someone you know. My pick of the week is kind of a hodgepodge of stuff. DC has been doing these DC Comics Presents oversized books that are $7.99, and they're collecting storylines that aren't collected in graphic novel format, things that have been out of print for a while. And over the last 2 months, I should say, this week we're getting the second part of a 2-part collection of Superman's Secret Identity, written by Kurt Busiek, art by Stuart Immonen, who recently just did the art on Fear Itself. And Busiek is just one of the top writers around. This is one of the best Superman stories I've ever read, and it's been out of print for a very long time. If you're trying to find the original, it's going to cost you an arm and a leg to get either the original issues or the original graphic novel when it first came out. But it is about a boy whose parents name him Clark Kent in our world, and they're familiar with Superman. There are Superman comics, there was the Superman TV show. It's like it's our world. And some interesting stuff happens when he starts to actually develop powers similar to Superman. It is a fantastic read and a steal, to get the whole story for $16. I cannot recommend this high enough, and you really should check it out. Hand in hand with that, last week we saw, also in the DC Comics Presents line, the life story of The Flash, which is a 100-page spectacular for $7.99, written by Mark Waid, published after Barry Allen died during Crisis, and it is a great overview of the character of Barry Allen. Written by Mark Waid, who is doing an amazing job on Daredevil and Irredeemable and Incorruptible. And if you don't know who Mark Waid is, stop in. We'll give you the laundry list of cool stuff you should read by him, including Kingdom Come. But this just came out last week. If you're a Flash fan, you can't miss it. If you're only familiar with Wally West or not that familiar with the Flash, this is for you.
And also from Mark Waid, we have Daredevil number 6. This should be the last issue in the first story arc of the relaunch title, and it's been very strong from issue 1. It's doing a great job of both recognizing what's happened to Matt, the kind of darker stuff he's gone through, but still being fun and upbeat, more of a classic Daredevil feel, and that's never more evident than in this issue, where you've got Daredevil overcoming obstacles, fighting random people. It's just really, really fun. If you've been away from Daredevil for a while because he was kind of scary, you should come back.
Last but not least, we can both talk about this. Or profess our love.
Pick of the life. Pick of ever.
For Scott Snyder. This is Batman, the Black Mirror hardcover. This collects Scott Snyder's entire run on Detective Comics, which led up to the launch of the New 52. It's 11 issues. It's got artwork by Jock and Francesco Francavilla. It is one of the most solid Batman stories easily of the last decade, and it's probably one of the best, if not the best, Commissioner Gordon stories outside of Batman Year One that we've ever seen.
And it's a great companion to Batman Year One.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It is Snyder writing Dick Grayson as Batman, but don't let that put you off. And they actually give you a nice summary at the beginning to let you know why Dick is Batman and what happened to Bruce and that sort of thing. So it's perfect for non-comic readers and for longtime comic fans. I know a lot of people were picking it up in single issues, but if you weren't, now is the time to get this really nice hardcover, which has some bonus material from Snyder and from the artists, and it's outstanding. 11 issues, $29.99, oversized hardcover. We love you, Scott Snyder. Anything else to say about that?
About that? No, it's awesome. You should buy this. But even though this is DC's week off when they only have a couple things out, this is actually a great opportunity. With 52 new titles in a month, you've had kind of a lot of stuff on your plate. You haven't had the chance to maybe check out everything you wanted. Maybe you want to know now about Resurrection Man, now that you have a week off. Or maybe some Birds of Prey. Something fun that you missed out because there was too many things before. This week, great chance to catch up on some of the new 52.
And we still have all of the issues, to the best of my knowledge. We have all of 1, 2, 3, and we don't have any 4s, do we?
No, 4's not out yet.
We have issues 1 through 3 of all the new 52. So if you haven't checked them out, now's the time. If you've been, like Josh said, waiting to try something, or if you want to pick up some books for someone for Christmas, come in and see us. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.